is going to come and bring us the word of God. You definitely want to be a part of this anointed, energetic man of God. He's on fire for God, and we'll love to see you come out and worship with us. That's basically my announcements. I want to take you right into the word of the Lord today. I won't be before you long. There's something that the Lord's been dealing with me about, and dealing with me with, and I just want to show you First Kings, chapter number 18. First Kings chapter 18. I won't be before you guys long at all. First Kings chapter number 18. We'll look at verse 41 through 46, and then I'm going to just share what the Lord gave me. And it says, and Elijah said unto Ahab, get thee up, eat and drink, for there is the sound of an abundance of rain. So Ahab went up to drink, and Elijah went to the top of Carmel and cast himself down on the earth and put his face between his knees. He said to his servant, go up now, look towards the sea. And he went up and looked and said, there is nothing. And he said, go again 7 times. It came to pass on the 7th time that he said, behold, there arises a little cloud out of the sea like a man's hand. He said, go up and say unto Ahab, prepare the chariot, get thee down, the rain stoppeth, the rain stop thee not. Verse 45, and it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heavens was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain, and Ahab rode and went into Jezreel. The hand of the Lord was with Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab unto the entrance of Jezreel. I was preparing a different message, just talking about prosperity from the inside out, and believing in yourself and believing what God said about you. And the Lord began to deal with me about this cloud the size of a man's hand. And as I began to study the text, I found out that they were at Mount Carmel. If you look in verse 42, he said, go up to Carmel. And I found out about Mount Carmel that this place only stood about 1,700 feet above sea level. It's about 24 miles wide. It was about 24 miles length and about 5 miles wide. It wasn't really a big place. It had 23 different terrace or up and down places inside of this mountain. The actual word Mount Carmel is translated into God's vineyard. And this place also, ladies and gentlemen, was the centerpiece of about 4 major cities. It was actually what we would call the 5th place, or 5 being the number of grace. It was in this place of grace, or the supernatural, that Elijah was able to hear the voice of the Lord. We understand that 4 being the number of creation. There's 4 different times in the day: morning, noon, night, evening. 4 different seasons: spring, fall, winter, summer. We understand that 5th place is the supernatural place. It's above the natural, or the 4 cities that surrounded Mount Carmel, and it's a place that God visits. 5 being the number of grace, 5 being the number of the supernatural, 5 being a place or symbolic to your seek, 5 being a place which you believe that above my senses, my natural see, hear, smell, taste, above my senses, my supernatural sense, my 5, my place in my life where I can hear God, that place of prayer, that place of dedication, that is the location that we see that Elijah is able to hear the rain of abundance. He's able to hear an abundance of rain. And I want to dare say that before you can say, I believe God told me to choose this major. I believe God told me to go in this direction. I believe God's telling me that this is my new career. Before you can, actually say, I don't know if this is God, I don't know if it's not. You go to a pastor, you go to someone who you feel is a spiritual leader. You want to know, is this God? Is this not God? You can always find out if it's truly God by seeing what place you're really in your spiritual walk with God. Are you actually finding yourself in Mount Carmel? Not saying, ladies and gentlemen, that all your days and time is spent only in the presence of the Lord. I'm saying, but do you have a set time, a set place that you choose to seek the Lord that's above your place in the sanctuary? That Jesus says in Matthew chapter 6, that these men, they pray in the street, they pray that men shall be seen. The Lord said, them being seen, that is their reward. But he said, when you pray, he said, go into your prayer closet. Do you have that place of secrecy, that you're able to speak to the Lord in that fast? Anytime the Lord spoke a promise to me, or I had an expectation for God to move, and always because I was putting myself in a position where I can hear him. Now, whenever I got off, whenever trying to pull it together, saying I think this is God, God's now allowed me to move prophetically and hear his voice on a major level, dealing with me when I'm